You guys can see, right?
Yeah.
Fine, okay. Alright, hello, I am Saxon Bryant, and this shall be HTML3, kind of, mainly more CSS. But before we begin, Luke, what do you always start in HTML document? What's always at the very tippity top? Alright, is there anything special about the word doc type? Right, and what comes before it? Very well done. And then under that, you always have your HTML tags, start and bottom. Alright, what are the two parts of an HTML document? Right, your body's where everything which is your title will go. We'll be actually talking more about the header with CSS, but that's for a slide later. Alright, in the body, let's say I have text. I am dissatisfied with this text. I want my text to pop. I want it to be pretty text. How do I do that? Style and colon. Wrong. Style equals quotation marks stuff, and again quotation marks. And so you use just style attribute whenever you, again, it's an adjective of the coding world. You use that whenever you want stuff to happen and you want things to change. And we'll be getting more into this about what to do with that style attribute, because I'm sure you can probably notice and tell on longer websites, typing out style for every single term you want would get very annoying. And so CSS is kind of the solution to that. And yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Now, it serves pretty much one main purpose, and that is shortening your workload. What this does is basically creates a separate document with all those various attributes you want to add to a web page. That way you don't have to make something up again every single time you want to change something. So, I actually looked up. So like on Sublime, just hit open up a new file, and it should just open up like a new tab. So I go to File, New File, boom, there you go, now you're ready for CSS. Right. So what it'll allow you to do is basically, instead of putting your style attribute inside the tag on your HTML document, you put all your style stuff here on the CSS document, and basically you'll basically describe a tag. So you'll put on your CSS sheet, P color red. What that tells your HTML document is that every time you use P, it is going to be the color red. And there are two ways to do this. First, and most popular, is using the link tag. This format is something you kind of need to know. Link type equals, this pretty much translates to CSS. Forgot what rel meant, do you remember? Just something you'll need to memorize pretty much. Rel equals style sheet. And then href equals whatever you title your CSS document. And because you remember, href is describing or clarifying a link, if you remember that from last time. And so this is saying, this is what I want to bring in. And so this entire thing would go on your HTML document inside the header. I don't think about this before or after the title, actually. So just anywhere inside your header, you'd put this, so the rest of your HTML document can come out normal. Or a variety, another example of this could be potentially the style tag, which can also be used. You would just start with style, P, use these like squiggly side dancers, put your stuff inside the two squigglies, and then you would close your P after you're done customizing everything. One thing I probably should try to do that. Anyway, so yeah, pretty much like regardless, it's going to look like this whenever you're either in the CSS document or in your HTML. You're going to have whatever tag it is, this squiggly thing whose name I can't remember, enter tab or whatever you want to do to make it clearer. This semicolon, full colon, your descriptor, and then if you want to add on to that, you'd put a semicolon at the end of this, then hit enter and do it again. So here I put semicolon, enter, font size, colon, 30 pixels. Put a semicolon or something, end it, end that, and that would just add more potential descriptors to the thing. Oh wait, this is not my computer. These are two more little tags that we're not going to get too into. Mainly the one you'll want to know is span. Div is also kind of useful, but span is more important, I guess. Span is what you use pretty much to call out certain pieces of text that you really don't know how else to describe and that you want to have a lot of in-depth customization on. So for example, let's say you've got your p tag, you're typing a paragraph, but you want like one word in that paragraph. You want it to be like bold, italicized, font size 60. You just want it customized all over. Well, you could just do the bold tag and just add a whole bunch of stuff onto that. Or what you could do is you could surround it with the span tags, which stands for something I've once forgotten. But again, it's basically just a way of specifying text or pieces of text that you weren't quite sure how else to grab out of that piece of paragraph. And so you would use this in the same way you use all the other tags in CSS, which I'll get into in a moment. Div is a lot like that, except not so much focused on the text as it is on the page itself. So if you were to open a div tab and put inside a list, then everything in that list would be included inside. And so if you were to say maybe, I want the background color to be yellow, you could do that for everything within the div. And it's more, you can still add text attributes and it'll apply to the text inside of the div, but it's more for specifying web page details, if that makes any sense. Like if I were to go into it, you can use div to like divide up your web page and make it colorful, like you have blocks and blocks and blocks of like colors on top and stuff like that if you wanted to have it. But mostly it's just used for if you want to specify a part of the web page as opposed to a part of the text. All right. Now I realize this is very mean because unfortunately I forgot to put in an example of what CSS actually looks like. So, regardless, here's some practice. Because it's not that hard. I want you to make a CSS document which has the following attributes for whatever HTML document you have. I want blue paragraph with a 20 font size in cursive font, yellow headers with a green background color, black span with a font size of 26, and ordered lists which have turquoise background and Arial font. Now, that all just sounds like a bunch of hullabaloo, and it kind of is. But individually, you've learned how to do each of these things. You've learned color, font size, font family, background color. So this is all something you should be familiar with. Don't have a marker. But basically, I'll show you. So in the new file you created on Sublime, the one that's pretty much blank, that is blank. What you do if you want to describe something, you put in the tag, this squiggly thing, enter, color, red, semicolon, font size, 50 pixels, semicolon. Boom, that's it. You move on to page 2. Same type of deal. All right. And that's just pretty much how I'll go for the entire thing. One thing I probably do here is like name it. Like that was style sheet for them, maybe. And I'll try to do the title there. I sincerely hope, and if not, we can try to save saving this. Oh yeah. Save a style sheet. All right, so now if we go back to your HTML document, make a link somewhere in the header. I'll go back and remember. Do you remember the link tag? Oh, Tony, what do you have questions? All right, so first you wouldn't use this because you would only use the style tag if you didn't open a CSS document. All right. Well, I got it pretty good here. Yeah. Yeah, you would use whatever tag you have here, and that would kind of be the definer in your CSS document. P. What are the attributes of P? Color blue, font size 20. Well, that's what doesn't use semicolon, but. And so what this is telling your HTML document is. Yeah, you didn't need that. Yes. No. You have the same issue I have. Oh boy, we're gonna hope it works. And if not, well, it's a working theory. It'll stop. Trying to get through this real quick. Body. Alright, so you describe pieces of P for /P. Now, in a perfect world, it would come into blue font size 20 whenever you save this overnight. However, we are not in that world. Yeah. What you do, use the link tag type is equal to text divided by CSS. Rel is equal to style sheet, and href is equal to style sheet because that's what you named it. The first one is always just going to be style sheet. The second one is actually what you named it. .css. I hope they put CSS document. I'm not sure. But yeah, so what this is doing is it's linking these two documents saying, hey, by the way, every time we mention P, it'll have all this stuff already pre-included. Okay, so blue paragraph with 20 font size and cursive font. Yellow headers with a green background color. Ooh, hold on. I'll see if there's a give us a chance to actually have the thing open CSS I can still show you. Because I know I typed it all out and tested it out and it all worked. Hey, you like do you lie? You know what? You like do you practice with lie? See if I've been keeping up. Aha, I did. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Alright. I'm not going to do it yet, I'm going to get more work done. But I did test it out, because I remember, and this all did work. So, I have the correct answers. So, that should be fine as it is. But yeah, so it just basically works like that. You start with the central tag, you use the curly brackets, you put in all the attributes you want to go ahead and give it, and then you end the curly brackets. And after every attribute, you have to end with a semicolon, because the semicolon signals, I am done with this attribute, now moving on to the next one. Otherwise, it's just one really long, incomprehensible attribute, and your computer just laughs in your face and does nothing.
How do you do the background?
Just background type and color. I would just want H1. I just went a specific header because I don't know if just H2 would work. And just give you a bit more question. Span is what you use when you want to have specific text outlined, and so instead of having to type the numerous attributes, you have to write every single word you want. So let's say you're like writing a poem, and you want some words to be italicized because you're artistic and fancy like that. Well, you would just put span around all those words, and it just signals to the computer, these words are different. Why are they different? Well, let me tell you in the CSS document. Well, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to see if I can try and make some divs for you. To give you an example of that, because that's kind of some funky stuff.
How do you do this
Span it. Oh, span it all else. Oop, oop. You just do stuff. And then this is just an span will have these attributes, and then whenever you go back and make certain things have the span tag, they'll show up with those effects. I almost totally forgot, by the way. Go back to your HTML document. The link tag is a self-closing tag. So when you have the link tag, you should not, after that, have alligator/link. That is not correct. What you do instead is you do link, you have all those type, rel, href stuff, and then at the end, you do /closed alligator tag. Because link is a self-closing tag, which does mean it doesn't need to have a whole separate tag so you can find it at the end. And that's just my thing, just at the end, instead of having just the usual closed alligator, you have the /closed alligator. Background. Yeah, cursive. Semicolons in the turquoise. Alright, that should be everything. Maybe you should have an ordered list anywhere on here. Yep. Alright. Now, save it and test it. Because here is where I am sure. Oh, you were hoping that. Donate. You go. I'll go. If you're having the same issue I have, then yeah. Yeah, see, I have that issue too. Oh, what? Yeah, you come line. Also, it's font family, not font. Font type and family. Well, boo.
How am I supposed to set up the spans?
Spans, you just put them around a word or a sentence, or you just put them around any text. Alright. So. It should not. Oh wait, oh wait. Try that. Oh, look. Man, Luke, why aren't you teaching this class? Oh, I'm not too sure how it works because you have other attributes inside the sim already, and I'm not sure who would override them or not. Who knows? But anyway, I will show you guys what I had. Boop. Who is you?
Command plus W.
Boop, 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 boop. And so here's what I have, and something basically that you should pretty much have. I just titled it Word Magic for reasons. Alright. And yeah, color, colon, blue, semicolon, size, family, always ending with a semicolon. It doesn't really matter on the last one, but you just kind of get into it, I guess. Color, black. Ow. because I had it here and it worked. So should have been able to override. Eric, what is the professional opinion? What's the problem? The problem we're having is that no one can seem to have their CSS actually work. Luke in particular thought, Luke tried to say we're gonna add the CSS document, and didn't change anything. And I'm not too sure why, because I'm pretty sure that,
You might want to maybe try saving it as two separate documents.
they say there's two separate documents.
Are they in the same directory?
Yes, they were on the computer. You know, look at his code, if anything needs to be done, I looked over. Professional smart guy, Eric can come in.
So where do you visit CSS?
Sorry.
Would you reference style sheets on CSS? And this is the style sheet.css, or when you say it's documents. So let's see what you put, try out with CSS too.
Something, I just looked at it again now. It's not any of the color tags, it's just making the connection. I'm pretty sure. Let me try something.
This is Sublime.
Oh, look, you did the thing on your CSS. Try and make sure the first part with all the HTML stuff is saved as an HTML, like in the same bottom right corner.
Yeah.
Because it's just a plain text.
This is text editor.
No, they're not. Assuming you're not having anyone look at it.
Do the CSS work too?
Well, I just hate
Oh, yeah. So what would you use CSS for? Well, first of all, your style sheet will never go alongside cursive group header some flat. Do you have that show up here? Header one, which is still missing.
But we haven't, yeah, that's not going to be built in the stuff. Because I have the same issue, and so I have to use online stuff. Don't know the solution.
So what do you want to show up? This way. So it should be here.
The use is
So you have a header. So this worked, right? That's right here. Top didn't work. Well, I mean, this is the actually it's not cursive. What was it different from before without? Oh, so I guess if you do .css as an end, if you save a file, you have to put .css because it's going to read that file word for word verbatim. Luke said he saw some changes from it, not all of them, like something that was supposed to be cursive didn't show up as cursive, and that might be some issue with reading.
I think that's because if you go back to the original HTML document, because I know you had a P tag in there, what attributes do you have attributed
To the P.
Well, then darn.
like, does it recognize cursive as a font?
Yeah. I know they just tested it there.
Well, man, basically one of the problems you're gonna find is that when you reference in your HTML document, and this applies to all kinds of programming languages, when you're gonna reference a different file that you want to read, you gotta make sure that file is exactly as it shows up with the dot tag at the end, like .docx or .html, .css. So make sure that shows up too, because it's going to just like look at your current directory and just like, look at the files and see whichever one matches 100%. It's going to read that one.
I mean, the style sheet has a CSS, but HTML doesn't have the HTML extension.
It doesn't. You try adding an extension to it. Because right now it's a text edit file, so you might want to resave that.
Oh, yeah. That's, I think I found out how to save it in the vertical image.
See that one?
So let's see how to save it.
You save the CSS document.
Does it just won't let you edit?
That thing thinks it's marked up before, and it's like never complained.
You know,
Like, what's up with that?
something about cursive. Is that one thing that's
So hard to read this.
Was there a bit more?
Oh, snap. Color. Whoa. Oh, snap. Why is turquoise is not purple? What's wrong with you? Alright, so.
Let's see if this works out.
Hey.
Just have to go drag into it.
Hey, I got it to work.
Did it work?
Yeah. And see, I'm still not entirely sure what's happening because there are already pre-existing descriptors, but it seems to just kind of mash them together. Oh, like, let me pull the CSS. What's this for the header? So, okay. Which is color red and blue. It seems to take adjectives. It seems to take attributes in the document over the ones in the CSS one, unless it isn't specified. So like, for example, text align. For example, text align wasn't something I specified in the CSS document, so I just went ahead and went with that. But it appears when the two are in conflict, it'll go with the one in the actual HTML document. So, not sure how we can use that information, but good to know. Next one.
I think it still have to work. And then obviously the person will back on research to see where the root of that problem is.
Does everyone have a good idea of what CSS does, at least? That's good.
Tony, how dare you capitalize? This one isn't capitalized though. Oh, but you didn't. That's the nice. Paste. Boom, boom, boom. What it looks like, turquoise. I'll show you back in the body in a moment.
Are we basically done?
Go back, do you have paragraph text in there? Oh, here's what I got. You have paragraph 1, which does not exist. So, save. Open this up again. Well, darn.
Do you need to specify the doc type? Do you have to put this and then .css up here?
Try it. I don't know about, you just naming it, it should be recognized as CSS. You have CSS on the bottom. You try it.
I'm not sure what I can accomplish.
Do the title.
And we still have to read this back. Oh, well, if we highlight it, it turns blue. So, I mean, I guess that's a success in my book. There's things.
Maybe go back to the style sheet.
Is Luke still having issues?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. And CSS just broke for us. It just did not. Well, meanwhile, Tony, you can do the next part of the lesson, which is the final part of the lesson, which isn't really even meant to be a lesson, I don't think. I don't remember it being a lesson. Was it a lesson?
Section with P affect the title, the header.
It shouldn't.
What?
It's
You're
going
gonna affect this. And to affect header, was it H something?
No, you want to specify H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, because H or just header isn't. I mean, I guess maybe header would work, but for now, let's just keep it to H1, 2, 3, or 4. Tony, meanwhile, you can do this part of the lesson. Comments in CSS are only moderately different than comments in HTML.
Try this.
By the way, Tony, I forgot, how do you write a comment?
I'll take a look at it. I'll just ask you to look at it, and maybe next time we find that solution. Let you know.
Almost. Missing one thing at the very beginning. And end.
What's Rebecca Purple?
Hold on. Yeah. So, Luke, ignoring the absolute barrage of problems we just hit with CSS, comments are written just like that. Instead of the one in HTML, we just do slash, asterisk, comment, asterisk, slash. That's probably a bit simpler. All right. For more in-depth color, well, I got it. For this point, we've been using black, yellow, red, blue. We've been using those basic colors everyone knows. But let's say you're not a player. You want fancier colors. You want better colors. Well, how is one to find such colors? You Google HTML colors, and you can either, because technically whenever we put in the color equals something, you can either put in the text or the official code kind of thing. So like hashtag 80fx59, something like that. So you can either put in the code or the word. Now, I want you to go to Google, like Google just HTML color, and maybe just add some color values and whichever ones you find the most interesting. These are a few I found, which I absolutely loved. We had blanched almond, Rebecca purple, papaya whip, and Dodger blue. These are all real colors in HTML.
Los Angeles Dodgers. It's in a deep, deep blue.
Rebecca purple and blanched almond.
What does Rebecca purple look like? Is it like a dark purple or pinkish purple?
You guys have your instructions, just Google it. I'm going to find.
And they all have an identifier number to them, don't they?
Yeah, they all have an idea. You can either use the number or the wording. Odds are you'll probably use the number because it's shorter. But I mean, sometimes you just want the word because look at those words.
It's a bit easier to remember.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go back here and I'm just going to,
Get a Rebecca purple.
yeah. Style equals Rebecca purple. I can't remember if purple is capitalized. It was Rebecca purple. Hold on, wait. It needs the color now. Style equals color. That thing, a colon is what it's called. I have no clue where this is. Hold on. That is Rebecca purple.
This is a lavender.
Yeah, it's like a lavender type purple. Blanched almond. Just like, ah,
Buy
ah.
some.
Yeah, buy some almonds, kids, they're healthy. What does blanched even mean? It's this color, apparently. Yeah,
Really tan.
yeah, hold on. I'm gonna actually put that in HTML really good. Brr, brr, what are you? I know what you are. Brr. And typing on my neck cannot handle blanched almond. And save. Blanched almond is, wow, okay.
It's a very light tan.
Very light tan. For those of you that can read it, that is blanched almond. And last time I'm going to try the Dodger blue, because that one sounded cool. Yeah, these are just a few of the like funny names. They have like regular names like Steel or something like that, but you guys didn't come here for normal.
Oh, it's just blue. That works too.
Nah, Dodger blue.
Do you need capitalized B?
No. Dodger blue. Ah, this is what I got last time. Yeah, that's what I thought last time, but then it started hitting me with all the you can't save stuff. Oh, it's not bad actually.
It's a nice color.
So that's Dodger blue, ladies and gentlemen. It is not as eye-catching as the other ones, except maybe Rebecca purple. That was kind of cool. But anyway, ignoring all the errors we've had today, that is in effect how CSS works. You take all the attributes you want for a tag, and you just put them in another document. You take all the stuff that you don't want to have to type out again and again and again, and you put it in another document, and then you link your HTML document to that document. That is how it works in theory, and what I hope you have now understood through this lesson. And I think that's it.
Oh yeah, one more thing is that CSS, you might think like, what's the use of this? I could just type that on a document or something. When you develop a website, you have multiple web pages, and you want to follow the same kind of format, you can reference the same CSS document for that.
Right.
So that's where
Utility and ease of use. So like, let's say for example, you want every paragraph you ever write to be Dodger blue. Well, if you have that in your CSS document, you can reuse that document for websites again and again and again, and have your paragraphs always be Dodger blue without having to. It's just saving you time, because style and all of that. Sure, you could do that every single time, or you just have it all pre-made in a CSS document, and then maybe share your CSS documents to your coworkers down in R&D because they want Rebecca purple colored lab coats. I don't know. You have weird coworkers. But that's about it. Any questions? Any questions, Tony? Sure? All right. Yeah. Good. All right, we're good.